For centuries, the Roman Empire was the most powerful civilization on Earth, but by 476 AD, it had collapsed. Was it invasions, corruption, or something far deeper? Let's uncover the truth. Rome dominated the Mediterranean for hundreds of years. Its armies were unmatched. Its roads connected continents, and its culture shaped the world. From the deserts of Africa to the forests of Germania, the Roman eagle flew, a symbol of absolute authority and unparalleled engineering. This vast empire, reaching its peak in 117 AD, brought a period of peace and prosperity known as the Pax Romana. It was a time of grand architecture, flourishing arts, and complex legal systems that still influence us today. But even the mightiest empire has cracks beneath the surface. By the 3rd century, Rome was struggling. The signs of decay were everywhere. Political instability became the new normal. With emperors rising and falling in rapid succession, this chaos was fueled by corrupt leaders who cared more for personal gain than for the good of the state. The economy was in a tailspin. Taxes soared to crippling levels to pay for a massive army and a bloated bureaucracy. The government started debasing its currency, leading to runaway inflation that wiped out savings and destroyed trade. As the people's trust in the empire crumbled, the very fabric of Roman society began to unravel. The empire also became too large to manage. Defending its vast borders drained the treasury and manpower, and internal divisions made it vulnerable to threats from outside. These external threats soon became an overwhelming force. So-called barbarian invasions accelerated the collapse. Germanic tribes like the Visigoths and Vandals, along with the fearsome Huns from the east, swept through Roman lands. They weren't just raiding, they were migrating, settling, and challenging Roman authority at every turn. And for 10 AD, a truly shocking event sent tremors across the entire civilized world. The city of Rome itself was sacked by the Visigoths under Alaric. This was the first time in 800 years the Eternal City had fallen to a foreign enemy. The event marked a devastating psychological turning point, proving that even Rome was not invincible. Repeated invasions drained the empire's remaining strength, leaving cities in ruins and the military completely overstretched and demoralized. But the fall wasn't just about external enemies. The deepest wounds were self-inflicted: rampant corruption among the elite, a series of weak and ineffective leaders, and a growing divide between the eastern and western halves of the empire made Rome fragile. While the wealthy east, centered on Constantinople, continued to thrive, the Western Empire became a shadow of its former glory. It was poorer, less populated, and harder to defend. This internal rot hollowed out the empire from within, making it impossible to withstand the pressures from the outside. The Western Roman Empire was no longer a cohesive, powerful state but a collection of failing provinces. In 476 AD, the final act played out. The last Roman emperor of the West, a young boy ironically named Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the Germanic chieftain Odoacer. There was no grand battle, no dramatic last stand. It was a quiet, almost anticlimactic end to a centuries-long decline. The Western Roman Empire was no more. But Rome's legacy didn't vanish. It transformed, shaping the laws, languages, culture, architecture, and governments of the new kingdoms that rose from its ashes, an influence that still echoes in our modern world. So, the fall of Rome wasn't caused by one single event. It was a complex and slow-motion collapse, driven by a perfect storm of relentless invasions, crippling economic crises, and fatal internal divisions. An empire that once ruled the world ultimately fell, but its impact still resonates today. Want more untold stories from history? Subscribe and join the journey.